Hey, church family, it's Pastor Tommy coming at you here from my basement today. Just wanted to give you a quick couple of exciting announcements as well as share a devotional thought with you. First of all, I'm really excited about something new that we're going to be starting here for the month of May, and that is every Wednesday night during the month of May, we're going to be having a Bible study via Zoom. And so we're going to be looking at a series done by Andy Stanley called The Bible for Grownups. And it's really a series that looks at the history of the Bible, how do we get our Bible, and how do we embrace the Bible in our day and age today. Really how it's going to work is there's a series of sermons preached by Andy on this subject, so you'll watch the video to it by yourself, and then we'll come together via Zoom and we'll discuss the message and discuss the Bible and how we can understand the Bible. And so that's going to be every Wednesday night in May, starting this next Wednesday, May 6th. At 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is when we're going to get together. So I really hope that you would join us for that and you'd engage with that study and watch those messages. Another thing I'm excited to talk about is just this Sunday, and that is that we're going to be taking communion together virtually, I guess. And so, I'm going to be leading us in communion during the church service, and so be prepared to participate in that. And of course, it might look a little different. You might not have authentic wine, or you might not have authentic grape juice even in your house, but even if you have some water and just some bread, just take that, participate in that way. It would be a great way for us, just most importantly, to remember the death and resurrection of Jesus and what he did for us on the cross. And so I just wanted to make sure you're aware that that's going to be happening on this Sunday. Our devotional thought for this morning comes from Psalm 139. It's a beautiful psalm. There's a lot to it, but I'm only going to read a part of the psalm this morning. David writes, "O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my path and my lying down and are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You hem me in, behind and before, and lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain it." And then down to verse 23, he says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there is any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." So David begins and ends this psalm by proclaiming that God searches us and God knows us. Right now in our newer home, we're having yard work done. We don't really have a yard right now, and so the other day they had an excavator out here digging up soil, trying to put the yard together, starting to shape the yard. And of course, the kids loved that. The boys loved watching the excavator and the skid steer and the bobcat do all the digging and moving of dirt. And, when we think of God searching us, it's a lot like an excavator. And this is a Lego excavator we got our son for his birthday. But God digs into us and he knows who we are. He searches us. He unravels us and discovers who we are. God does not ever get sick of knowing us. God does not ever get sick of hearing our thoughts, hearing our cares. And so when God searches us, God gets into our heads. He gets into our hearts, and he knows the innermost parts of who we are. And for me, at least, that's both a comforting thing, but that's also kind of a scary thing, right? God knows who I am in the deepest parts of my heart. And sometimes who I am and what I think and what I believe, I don't necessarily want him to know. I don't necessarily want him to see that part. But the good news that we know from Scripture is that God cares for us. God cares about, as David concludes the psalm by saying, God cares about our thoughts. And really what it's saying there is God knows our cares, God knows our anxieties, God knows what we worry about. And just as he cares for the sparrow, God cares for us. And so, man, my encouragement to us today is just the encouragement that, man, God knows who you are. God searches you. God digs out the inner pieces of your heart, and he knows what you are wrestling with, and God cares for you. And so, church family, I just want to leave that with you today, that assurance that God searches you, God has made you, God knows you intimately, and God hears you. He hears your every prayer and your every concern. Well, God bless, church family. Praying for you and care for you. I hope this finds you well today. God bless.